Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going over some of the most optimized weapon builds that I've ever put out to you guys in a video like this. I spent a lot of time just going through every single weapon, redoing all of the builds with a good friend of mine that has very detailed knowledge of the inner workings of this game. So when I say these are some of the best weapon builds in the game and better than some of my previous builds, I really do mean it. Let's get right into it, guys. If you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, swing by the streams, and check out the second channel. Everything will be linked in the description. I'll be going through every single weapon category one by one. I will leave timestamps in the description. You'll notice themes throughout this video, starting with the M433. Recoil control is the name of the game with this weapon. I have two builds for you. The first one utilizes the brand new Hybrid Suppressor L. I made a video on these new suppressors that will also be linked in the description for you guys if you don't know what any of these do. So basically, Hybrid Suppressor L, extended barrel, 45-point stubby grip, and that is basically it. You get extremely good velocity with the best recoil control possible in the game for this weapon, which the M433 needs. If you want better movement speed, you can use this build, which utilizes lightweight ammo, utilizes Hybrid Suppressor, basic barrel this time, and the classic vertical grip, and use the last 5 points for lightweight ammo. You have slightly better side-to-side strafe speed with this specific build. Moving on to the B36A4, this weapon is a jack of all trades and is best used with synthetic tip. You're going to want to use standard suppressor, heavy extended barrel, violet laser, full angled grip, and synthetic tip. Synthetic tip allows you to hit just a ton of consecutive headshots, and they actually matter. The SCAR is absolute dog shit. Completely ignore it. AK-4D. Moving on. Standard suppressor, heavy extended, violet laser, full angled, and hollow point. This weapon is best used with hollow point because you can 2-tap in the head. Very accurate, heavy hitting. Just a fun weapon to use. Moving on, Tier 7. This is the brand new maximum recoil control build possible. Again, Hybrid Suppressor L, extended barrel, 45-point stubby. This weapon is best used in close quarters, as is the M433, the VCR, and some other upcoming weapons, which is why moving accuracy is basically completely overrated. Recoil control is better, and you will hit more shots as a result. It will feel more consistent for you. Moving on, the Cord. This weapon is best used with hollow point because it is a complete laser. Violet laser, standard suppressor, heavy barrel, stubby, and hollow point. Moving on to the NVO, this weapon should be used as a submachine gun because it is only good within 0, so right here out to about 9 meters, and that is because it has a 3 BTK range within this 0 to 9 meter damage range, and past about 10 meters, the NVO is one of the worst ARs in the game. You should only use the NVO within about shotgun range. The build is CQB suppressor, 20-point green laser, basic barrel, slim hand stop, and fast mag for those faster reloads. Again, only use the NVO within shotgun range. That is basically its only use case. LED5A3, this gun is a complete laser. Again, synthetic tip, standard suppressor, heavy extended barrel for that velocity, violet laser, and full angled. I think it's worth noting this weapon has the fastest muzzle velocity out of all of the assault rifles at nearly 1,000 meters per second. Moving on to the VCR2, this weapon is thankfully actually usable again after the update. Hybrid Suppressor L, basic barrel, 35-point classic vertical grip, and recoil buffer, which is very, very important on this gun because it has disgusting visual recoil. You're going to want to master bursting with this gun. It is absolutely lethal if you get that timing down. As you can see, it just completely drops people. Going to the end of the AR category here, we have the M16A4. Pretty straightforward build, really not much different about it. Long suppressor, actually, this time. Heavy extended, violet laser, canted stubby, and aftermarket buffer. This weapon is essentially a burst fire DRS. Using it in full auto does not make any sense because If you use it in full auto, it is just a directly worse version of the DRS, so you might as well use it in the burst fire mode. And finally, coming to the EF88, the brand new assault rifle added in Season 4. Again, this is basically the same build we used on the L85. Standard suppressor, heavy extended barrel, violet laser, full angled grip, and synthetic tip for those headshots. Moving on to the carbines, first we have the M4A1. Again, recoil control will play a massive part in these builds, along with lightweight ammo. Hybrid suppressor L, light barrel to take away the violet laser little purple dot that appears on your soldier. Again, these are more CQC weapons. You're going to want to use these in more of a close medium range scenario. 6H64 vertical grip and lightweight for that carbine strafe speed. This gun is, again, best used within about close to medium range. You're not going to want to use this as your long range option. So we build it for close to medium range. Moving on to the M277, this weapon has a lot of specifics behind it. Standard suppressor, heavy extended barrel, 45-point stubby grip for the maximum recoil control you can get on top of being able to access 200 ADS, which is extremely powerful with this gun, and mag catch instead of the fast mag in order to retain the sprint recovery speed of 167 milliseconds, which is incredibly powerful with this gun. The thought process is basically the faster you can get this gun up and shoot, the less time your target is going to be able to actually contest you at all, because this weapon is one of the most destructive mid-range weapons in the entire game. If you can get that first bullet on them, they will not be able to kill you. It is just as simple as that. And of course, with this new maximum recoil control build, it's just really easy to use. Technically, you can get better recoil, actually, if you use the hybrid suppressor, but it's so minimal that I don't think it is necessary at all. Moving on to the GRT-BC, this weapon was essentially phased out by the Broad 3 and the M433 in the assault rifle category. However, there has been a build I've been made aware of where you used burst fire to give this a weapon a bit of a unique calling card, if you will. So the name of the game with this weapon is hit rate. You're going to be able to hit extremely consistent, accurate shots at major distance because of the burst fire mode, reducing your recoil significantly on top of using the 6H64 vertical grip to further reduce your recoil. So you're going to want to use standard suppressor, burst fire mode, light barrel, 6H64 vertical grip, and lightweight. And again, the name of the game is hit rate. You're going to have a very consistent, just accuracy situation with this weapon, where you can just spam it to your heart's content, and you're going to beam people from pretty hilarious distance. This weapon is good in burst fire mode for the same reason the SL9 is good in burst fire mode. Moving on to the QBZ, strangely enough, there is no new best in slot build for this weapon, even though they added attachments, so the build remains the same. Standard suppressor, cryo barrel, alloy vertical grip, and synthetic tip. This is essentially a watered-down carbine version of the DRS LMG. The SG553R, the long-standing close quarters king and one of the best weapons in the entire game. Hybrid suppressor, extended barrel, violet laser, 6H64 vertical, lightweight ammo, and recoil buffer. This really tames the recoil of this gun and actually makes it, well, feel good again to use. They really nerfed this gun quite a bit. And last in the carbine category, we have the brand new carbine added in Season 4, the Broad 3. Same thought process as the M4. You're going to want to use the hybrid suppressor L, light barrel, 6H64 vertical, and lightweight ammo. Moving on to the SMG category, the thought process with almost every single weapon in this category is you want them to be good at close quarters. If you want a weapon that is versatile, that can be used at any range, you should not be using an SMG. With that being said, taking a look at the SGX build here, CQB suppressor, basic barrel, flashlight for that improved hip fire, 20-point green laser, again for the better hip fire, and 36-round magazine. The same thought process is true with the PW5A3. CQB suppressor, 20-point green laser, this time cryo barrel, flashlight, and that is it. These weapons do not have any recoil anyway, so you really do not need a grip. It is not necessary at all. Moving on to the PW7A2, this one is a bit of a different situation where synthetic tip is extremely important on this weapon and is essentially the entire reason why you would use it. Long suppressor, green laser, heavy barrel, 40-round magazine, and synthetic tip. It's worth noting that if you hit one headshot, it reduces the overall bullets to kill by 1, which is really, really good. And the entire reason why you would use the MP7 in the first place. It's basically just a gun you can beam people off head glitches with. Moving on to the USG90, this is one of the guns that actually is best used with the 50-point hybrid suppressor K, because it has absolutely no penalties, so you can retain your really good hipfire. So 50-point suppressor, heavy extended barrel, 20-point green laser, and yeah, you just beam. It's really, really accurate, has basically no recoil, and insane hipfire. KV9, honestly, I wouldn't recommend using this gun at all, but if you want to, CQB suppressor, extended barrel, tac light aimed, 20-point green laser, and 25-point magazine. SCW-10, still the fastest killing gun in the entire game. Nothing has really changed here with the build. Long suppressor, extended barrel, violet laser, 45-point magazine, and you just barrel stuff people and they die in 150 milliseconds. And for whatever reason, this gun still doesn't have any recoil, even though it is the best, the fastest killing gun in the game. Moving on to the CZ3A1, this weapon has pretty disgusting recoil, but I managed to actually piece this build together that tames it and makes it useful again. CQB suppressor, 30-point blue laser, extended barrel, 10-point folding vertical, and aftermarket buffer. So this gun is kind of revived with this build because it just tames the recoil enough to where it feels like the gun, like how it was when it was pre-patch, pre-nerf, and the hipfire is really, really nuts too. Moving on to the LMG category, starting with the DRS. This is the new best-in-slot DRS build. I actually have two builds to show you that are slightly different, but are almost identical, and we'll go into why. Okay, standard suppressor, heavy extended barrel, violet laser, full angled grip, and synthetic tip. So this weapon is essentially long-standing, one of the best weapons in the entire game. The variant on this build, as you can see, the only downside of it is you have very slightly worse sprint recovery, but this build utilizes the hybrid suppressor L, and you just have a little bit more of a stable shooting experience, which might matter to some people. It might not matter to others. The first build is pretty much statistically identical. It's just a little bit more unruly, like with the ADS, and that might throw some people off. In terms of actual recoil control, it is the exact same. If we compare their control stat, as you can see, both weapons have 48. Moving on to the M123K, this weapon is essentially a submachine gun, light machine gun, and it should be used as such. Long suppressor, 20-point green laser, short barrel, tac light aimed, and slim hand stop. This gun is hilarious for getting those flanks, and if you want to utilize the brand new canted vertical grip, I have a build for you hipfire maniacs here. No sight, so iron sights, green laser, 10-point flash hider, short barrel, flashlight, and 30-point canted vertical. Yeah, as you can see, this is some pretty ridiculous hipfire for a light machine gun, and you have 100 rounds at your disposal. A couple more weapons I want to highlight here. There's a brand new best-in-slot SVK build, and it actually utilizes the 40-point hybrid suppressor. So it would be 40-point hybrid suppressor, extended barrel, 30-point ribbed stubby grip, and then I don't have it unlocked, but the best in slot choice would be match grade long range ammo. The reason why this is best in slot is you get a ton of recoil recovery and you get multiple steps of recoil reduction without any accuracy penalties while moving. And that is absolutely essential for DMRs. You don't want your accuracy to be too bad while moving, or else you're going to miss easy follow-up shots. For you RedSec enjoyers, this is the best in slot RedSec specific DMR build for the SVDM. 5-point single point break, extended barrel, alloy vertical, 20 round magazine, long range ammo, and recoil buffer. This is essentially the lowest recoil, highest magazine capacity version of the SVDM you can utilize in RedSec. And of course, it's RedSec. If you're playing in any organized matter, the suppressors are really not going to matter that much. However, if you do want a suppressor, here is the 20-point suppressor build. Use the hybrid suppressor L, so the 30-point variant, extended barrel, 20-round magazine, and aftermarket buffer. This is going to have slightly more recoil, but you can use this in multiplayer, and you can also use this in RedSec. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult to utilize, and possibly require some better recoil control, because of course it has less recoil control. Wrapping up the DMR category, we have the newly added VSSM. So you're going to want to use the 20-point suppressed barrel, 20-point alloy vertical, penetration ammo, and the full auto mode if you want to use it in this mode. This has the same time to kill as the SCW-10, so in close quarters, people are going to drop in 150 milliseconds. So this is essentially tied for being the fastest killing gun in the entire game. Moving on to the bolt actions, I do not have the interdictor fully leveled up because this weapon is complete and utter fucking dog shit. I'll have a video on this later. I'm suffering for you. But in terms of the best in slot bolt action rifle builds, we have standard suppressor, extended barrel, violet laser, low profile stubby for that ADS, long range ammo, and ADS bolt for the M2010 ESR. Moving on, the SV98, this weapon should be used in more close range scenarios as the sweet spot is closer. Actually, you do not use a suppressor on this build, surprisingly enough. Flash compensator will do you just fine. So 20-point flash hider, violet laser, extended barrel, low profile stubby for that ADS bolt, and long range ammo. The PSR and the interdictor are both trash. Moving on to the Mini Scout. The Mini Scout build you can do so much with, but this is the one that I like using. Standard suppressor, violet laser, extended barrel, low profile stubby, 15-round magazine, and anti-glare. Even though it's not that good, I figured to slap it on anyway. And finally, the L115. It's worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, that the L115 is actually the second fastest rechambering bolt action rifle, just one rate of fire below the Mini Scout. So if you want a long range rifle with fast follow-up shots, the L115 is going to be your best bet. The build is pretty much the same as every other build here. Standard suppressor, extended barrel, low profile stubby grip, 7-round magazine this time, long range ammo, and ADS bolts. And finally, for all the shotgun degenerates out here, I have a M87A1 build for you guys, utilizing double-aught buckshot. So, of course, double-aught buck, CQB suppressor, green laser, basic barrel, slim hand stop, and this basically one-shots you out to crazy distance. And it's bullshit, and I hope none of you kill me with this gun. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, and rest assured I will have another Battlefield 6 weapon tier list video out as soon as I can get it out. I'm going to be playing War Dogs today, and of course probably the new Call of Duty beta as well, so look forward to some variety content on the channel with some first impressions regarding 2 brand new games. Well, can you really call Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 a brand new game? Probably not. So one new game in War Dogs and one like slop game, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, or at least that's what I assume it will be. Maybe I'll be shocked. I doubt it, though. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.